Apparently, LJ found a video. 5 things that make perfect sense in ReZero. If I can ask before we start this, how long does it cover? Just season one or?
Oh, I haven't watched the whole thing myself. Okay, I watched a portion, and it was talking about why Amelia called herself Satella in episode 1, how that was a confusion. It mentioned stuff in season 2.
Oh no.
But since you're not going to watch
Okay.
season 2, I just figured you'd
I don't
still-
think it'll be too big of a deal, but let's just see how that explanation goes.
I figured just you could have an opinion on this in general, and it'd be interesting.
I think I still could, since I know at least half of the story. But at the same time, I won't be able to speak on to things referenced in season 2, unfortunately.
I apologize if I add to your rage with this. But
Oh, we have only yet begun. Oh, and I should also throw this out there since work on this thing won't be for a while. Yeah, that laptop fucking got hacked, it crashed, and I lost a lot of the progress I made working on the first 3 episodes for the full season review.
Oh, so you want this uploaded like immediately then, if possible?
Sure,
All right then,
if possible.
I can do that.
And I'll add that to the playlist of ReZero discussion things.
From the very beginning.
Oh God, I
something
used that
has been
clip.
Bugging me for the entire first
Yes,
season,
we did.
and why did Amelia call herself Satella on their first encounter?
Here we go.
He's of seemingly aristocratic origin. No wonder she was suspicious, especially after her trinket was non-consensually borrowed. So, in order to find out what's
problem
what,
with
she
that.
brought up the ultimate
Oh,
trump
God.
card. What if Satella made her say that name? So Adidas boy falls in
What?
love with Leah,
Yeah,
does
I
some
don't-
mental gymnastics, and transfers those feelings to her eventually. On the
What? I think this dude's just writing fucking fan fiction at this point. So, the reason why I think she used the name Satella, but the fucking knowledge that Amelia is, like, it's offensive as shit to call her that, but also, the show has a severe lack of examples of actual racism toward her.
Yeah,
They just think, you suck, and that's it.
yeah. Like this scene happens before we even know there's racism, and so it only works on the rewatch.
It doesn't even work in the rewatch if you just look at it for the function of the scene itself, that she is simply testing the waters on if she can trust him. That's stupid.
I have no clue what those people think when they hate on Subaru for saying he loves Amelia. First and foremost,
Oh,
this is
no.
coming from a dude so single, I might as well have a PhD in it. However,
So your opinion's
if I was to
worthless,
fall in love with
motherfucker.
someone, another person's confession wouldn't convince me to change my mind, unless it goes something like
That
this.
is such a common fucking...
Like, are you the girl in this situation?
He's the bitch.
She is his type. We can say that based on the posters and figures in this room.
Whatever.
Secondly,
What?
she was the first one to
What?
lend him a help.
Okay, this is season 2 material.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I said whatever, because like he's not wrong, but like just because this is the equivalent of fucking Ichigo's bed sheets being foreshadowing for him being a Quincy.
There's one weird thing about it, though. He never once mentions how cool her ice powers are.
Because the powers aren't what makes her attractive to him.
Yeah, it doesn't. So, yeah, that's... I don't even want to call it a reach. He just likes women with swords. That's pretty fucking common in Japan, actually.
Both posters have like purplish white hair. I mean, sure, like it can
I think
be
his type is just elves.
just on a surface level. It sounds like a fucking stupid thing.
It is.
But Subaru is stupid, so I guess it wouldn't be that far. I just hate that statement.
The way this guy talks befuddles me.
Secondly, she was the first one to lend him a helping hand in this new world, and in general,
Yeah.
was very kind. Barusu noticed that
Yeah.
she was in a rush, yet still stayed behind to make sure he was okay. Then, they basically went on a date, did some stupid shit, helped a little girl. I mean, how can you not fall for this when you are a lifeless shut-in? Oh, and of course, they
Yeah.
died together while holding hands, so
Wow.
toss some guilt in there too.
The series take a toll on you. What the fuck is this artwork?
I like it, but it's unnecessary.
I agree, it's unnecessary.
Feels like he genuinely
Warming
didn't
that
know
baby
what
soul
to edit
alone.
in and
And
just
if
found
you're
random
still
shit.
not convinced, you may be forgetting that a human can fall in love just because. Who am I kidding?
Ugh.
Nobody is going to accept that. So how about Satella pulling strings and making him love Amelia since they look the same or some shit?
What? There's there's nothing in season 1 that would suggest that the strings are being pulled.
Look, I agree that love just won't make sense sometimes, but there has to be.
Dude, love is a hurricane.
I mean, this doesn't feel like love. It just feels like infatuation.
Rem knows what Natsuki feels, so the only reason she was talking about it is to remind him of what he's fighting for. Because at that point, our dude was broken. Like, absolutely fucked in the least desirable way. To bring him back, the maid was performing a certified talk no jutsu by telling him what she feels like, which in turn triggered his own memories and feelings towards Amelia and snapped him out of the misery.
That is still a dumb
The next
fucking
set of
moment.
questions
I can
that
see why
have
people
is
like it,
related to this.
but that is not a good explanation of why that made perfect sense. It fucking doesn't. Subaru wanted to run away. Like, I don't like that this guy is cutting out context for this shit. This is something I noticed, by the way. He was faking that all of that suffering, and he just wanted to get away from it because it was boring him that much. Which is honestly, it looks fucking bad when you realize that. The reason he says he loves Amelia is because he's decided that he does. The whole reason why she even fucking talks to him is because he suggests to her that he would want to run away with her. Off to some village, do his own adventure there. She even expressed interest in having as many kids as he wants. I mean, kudos to her, I guess, but again, he states, I love Amelia. After, like, going through what she wouldn't mind it. Like, she wouldn't mind running away with him, but she states that it's kind of impractical. And it would be, too, because she would actually have set the pair of them a lot of eyes, unnecessary eyes on them. They have no money. They don't have that kind of money to just survive for a long period of time. It's a weird act of selfishness, what he does. It's so weird.
The way I see it is that his feelings for Amelia are just shallow to begin with.
It's
like,
weird.
He decided early
messy.
on that he just wanted to dedicate his life to her, despite
Yeah.
learning everything else about her later. It's like, you already loved her unconditionally, you just found more reasons to. Like, that just doesn't fucking...
It's not good. It's actually pretty muddy writing, if you ask me.
That's not how I see love. It's like, you grow to love someone. You don't love them immediately and then find more reasons. That sounds... There's got to be a word for that.
Like, his infatuation with Amelia is one-sided. It is so creepily one-sided to the point where he has to save her not once, not twice, but at every opportunity he can for the sake of having her love him back as a knight, as he fantasizes. Again, this is just Subaru's fantasy. All of it is. And the fact that he can reset himself to a certain point will always allow him to go about it however he wants. And he is always in control in that regard. Because the first loop is always him playing with the rules and the scenario itself before actually realizing what he's supposed to do correctly. And each time, he repeats the same mistake that isn't immediately seen.
I think I would be okay with most of this if Amelia just had bad qualities about her that Subaru acknowledged were bad, instead of just loving everything about her. It's like, how about, I love you despite these things I don't like about you. Like, that would be a little more interesting, a little more realistic.
A problem with this entire aspect of Subaru loving her so much is that Amelia is not much of a character. Like, there isn't much in season 1, at least, that makes her stand out on her own as a character.
No,
she does things, but so do other characters do things.
Literally,
they're just shallow.
And that's what the OVA does. I enjoyed the OVA more than, like, everything else in the show.
I never touched the OVA, though. And I don't think I will be considering it for season 1. It's going to make me hate season 1 more viscerally because of that, and I'm already at a limit. If my eventual season 1 review gets big enough, I'll take a look at both the OVA and season 2.
Speaking of simping, what's with Ram's confession to this crackhead? She should hate him with a fiery passion for killing off her village, right? Well, it's not that simple.
It's Stockholm
Let's start with
Syndrome.
The fact that he did really kill.
Felt like I learned nothing from that point.
And that can be all that you say about it.
Yeah, that's about it.
Controversial part of this video.
Alright,
Many people have a poor opinion of Subaru, consider him a whiny, annoying, one-dimensional
Oh
piece of human
shit,
being.
here we go.
Naturally, you're entitled to your own opinion, and I won't say that you're stupid for thinking like that, but I'll heavily imply. I believe that our main protagonist is somewhat relatable and quite
Hey,
realistic. He
you're
gets
lazy.
transported to this world
I wouldn't
and is
call
all
him that.
excited.
Relatable. Yeah, if
No.
if you're fucking if you're mentally, I shouldn't say that.
If you're not as clinically delayed as far as brain function goes, I don't think many are as clinically stupid as Subaru.
Even when I was 18, if I had gone through all this shit, like the first time I died, I'd be questioning literally everything. He doesn't even he remembers the pain of dying, but not that he actually died. And it's like, I feel like there was enough for him to put two and two together.
He
the
does
first
say
time.
it's day again though. When he first dies, like he realizes that time has passed, or at least he thinks time passed. And he's questioning why he's at the fucking stand. And then he immediately fucking beelines it to the abandoned fucking shack. Or the thugs. I left Amelia for dead. Puck's gonna kill me.
Just in that
It's
sense.
reductive logic. Again, even like saying that, oh, you're stupid for thinking that is reductive.
Which is already weird because for such a shut-in, a change of scene should have a negative effect. Oh well, he thinks about it as if he got to be a certain slime about to go on a fun adventure. And this is to press him forward for a
they
bit
are not
where he discovers
comparable.
that he's not particularly strong and dies. Sure, a bit sketchy,
Hold
but
up.
he starts over, not
That's
thinking
just
too much
shit
of it at
editing.
first
Dead
and
Man
continues
Wonderland.
I don't
to
like
go
how this is
good
presented.
until he dies in the mansion a few times. This is a key point, because this is where it all starts to go downhill and he becomes the character almost everybody hates. Why? Oh, he lacks substance, he's stupid,
Hold up.
cringe,
Fucking
and so on.
the cell phone wielding
You're
dude
correct. He's
has
a-
more character than Subaru. I would not associate
Oh.
that protagonist lacking substance.
Yeah, and Luffy's not stupid. He's just
Luffy is actually a fairly intelligent character. He's just he's a bit of a monkey.
he's smart in like the non-technical ways. Is that right?
Yeah, non-technical, like combative wise, he is probably one of the most intelligent hockey users. Probably one of the most potentially powerful Devil Fruit Paramecia users out there. This dude did not get as far as he did without knowing who to get. Far fucking from it. He picked the right people to be his crew. And that's not something
Just out of
an
pure
unintelligible person can do.
he just knew, like, yep, I need a swordsman, I need a navigator, I
chef.
need a musician.
Yeah.
Decided early
Chef, a
on.
doctor, not just that, a shipwright, a lot of things. A lot of very smart things that he needed on his boat. A musician too, because you will go fucking mad on the sea alone for too long. It's bad.
You're correct. He's a very flawed character. He has no experience, no skills, no nothing, and is thrown
Flawed
into
is
this
not the right
world of
word.
perpetual death and torment, so what the fuck do you expect? You have to understand his point of view. Death is painful. Well, not like any of us experienced it, but this can be pleasant. And return by death is said to be even more distressful. No shit his behavior is affected by it, although pain is only a part of the problem. The rest is psychological.
Not quite.
Baruso has all these memories,
Not even.
feelings, thoughts, yet others don't. For example, when he was telling Emilia how much he has done for her, he's telling the truth, except that she doesn't know most of it because it happened in different realities. And the worst part, he can't share it with anybody. Natsuki tried his best. He did stuff right, he did stuff wrong.
Like, at least during the mansion arc, he at least has a decent bit of time to think about what his next move is. But he
Yeah,
doesn't.
like he actually has a set number of days to work
Yeah,
with
so,
before
listen,
shit fucks up.
I can excuse him fucking around in the first few episodes, but like during the mansion stuff, he has time to himself, time to understand what is happening, but he doesn't use that time like to its full potential. You feel me?
It gets worse because we can actually see him kind of preparing. Like, he learns how to read and write the world's language. A feat not easily done with a lot of isekai protagonists.
step in the right direction.
It isn't immediately addressed. It kind of makes sense that it's a little late because, you know, he was stuck and he couldn't learn anyways. But that skill set doesn't come into play to the end of season 1. It's more so a practical skill for longevity, if he's ever going to get out. But the thing is, he doesn't want to get out. And I think that's a problem.
He learns lots of technical things, which is good. Just refuses to do anything emotionally about himself. He has nobody on his level in the first place to really talk to anyway, but just seeing that...
Closest he gets is Puck.
Yeah, that's the closest he get, but he's still like an immortal fucking furry thing, so not much.
Hardly.
So I guess, yeah, realistically, somebody as pampered and soft as he is would react in all these scenarios with all this shit given to him in the way that he has, but it's seeing it play out.
The problem is
the worst because he's not entertaining. I guess it's entertaining for some people, but I'm not some people, I suppose.
the main issue with Subaru that I've always had since day one was just how incompetently written he is. Like, he keeps fucking failing upward.
That's one way to put it.
He does. He fails so fucking hard to do his mission that he gets himself not only a mansion, but he also managed to get himself past a fucking whale no one could theoretically fucking win day one. Then there's just the fact that he somehow pulls out of his ass a whole load of plans that we conceivably, or recognize at least, that Subaru is not a good planner throughout the first half of Season 1. He takes a small amount of actions, but we don't necessarily see him plan things out. He'll plan a date, and that's it. To see him pull off what happens in the last quarter of ReZero Season 1, I don't think is possible for his character given how he has been written prior. And I'm not sure where the fuck half of his intelligence came from thereafter.
My defense for this is going to sound stupid, but I would say he was unconsciously absorbing information the majority of the time, and just after the episode 18 speech, like, the stuff that he needed to know was all there in his head already, and he just needed to have a change in mindset, I guess, just think things like...
And where's the evidence for it?
I couldn't tell you.
Exactly. The anime failed to show shit. I can only guess one of two things happened here. Scenes got cut, and context was lost. Crucial scenes that are required to explain how Subaru came to the conclusions he did. Him dealing with the witch's cult fucking caught me off guard. How absurd he manages to both plan and respond to the new shit that happens. Now, one of them, I can see what he realizes, like, oh yeah, I could probably do that. Like, the first time he got possessed by Sloth, and he has to get fucking yeeted. I get that. I understand. You know, that makes sense. If he's in my head, I'll as well just show her Satella. I like that moment, but there's a lot of other shit that I just don't know how the fuck he pulled off. Like, where the fuck did he get that media? The mirror that he used to catch the... Okay, old me was a real dummy. It is actually shown that he steals the media. Subaru as a character doesn't make perfect sense. Because there are a lot of stupid choices he makes that not even teenagers his age would make. And he's 18.
Exactly.
Shut-in or no shut-in, even they have basic preservation intelligence.
Became all the way until his brain completely shut off. REM
But
did
didn't.
help, no doubt, but therapy needs more sessions to work properly. So he
God.
still did stupid stuff and was a wreck on the inside until he got a one-on-one with Echidna, Otto, and finally all the witches to begin his redemption. Yes, it did take a while to get there, but if you want a perfect MC, go watch Sword Art Online, where Kirito goes through his friend's death, many life-threatening situations,
Oh God,
and other
no.
traumatic shit with little to no lasting effect.
Oh god. Oh god. Oh god.
I have an argument against that, and I'm gonna save it for when I cover Sword Art Online Season 1.
Oh, okay.
On the note of fucking Sword Art Online, Subaru... No, fuck. God damn it! Kirito. The thing about him being a perfect protagonist is that we are immediately shown he is a very intelligent protagonist. It's a pseudo isekai, so him being a big nerd and having familiarity with Sword Art Online already, it works. There's not much wrong there. I can't comment on what happens thereafter, but he is fairly competent as a protagonist. People cope in their own ways, but Sword Art Online is not that kind of a show. And again, you gotta read the fucking room when it comes to certain shows and how they handle their tone. That's why Subaru is such a problem. It is tonally inconsistent, and it causes a lot of whiplash.
Take veterans as an example. A good chunk of them come back unable to live a normal life. And you mean to tell me that some teenage schmuck who keeps dying left and right, creating and losing bonds with people, getting involved into world-ending events, has to be all tough, strong, and do everything reasonably correct? Don't be a hypocrite.
I'm
Subaru's
not a
situation
hypocrite
is
for
absolutely terrible, and
expecting,
it's a
like,
miracle that he's
self-awareness.
still pushing forward. It was I, Bahis, admiring MC into the microphone. Have a
What?
Great, whatever time of
I don't
the
even
day.
care what the fuck
Until-
he said at the end. I'm a hypocrite for expecting this man to like stop and think more than he does. Like if he's 18, he should have the cognitive functions to realize, oh, like I should stop banging my head on this wall and like think of a more creative way to get around this. But no, he's too infatuated
Yeah.
with this fantasy creature to think straight.
He is very well familiar with the various aspects of isekai in general. So, he plays it up for the sake of understanding that he has an audience. This is even winked at in the anime.
He only does that because his dad did the same thing, except his dad actually had status in his community, and Subaru doesn't.
Everything is gifted to him. Very little is earned. It's just given to him on a silver fucking platter throughout. I can understand, him getting a bit lucky in certain instances because, oh dear God, I don't want to sit through another 3 episodes of the same shit happening again, like with the dog bite.
Yeah, like that
But-
part, like even I had no idea the first time. That was understandable.
It was a subtle one, but it's still bullshit. Like, you'll get caught off guard by it, sure, but it doesn't make it written well. And Subaru is not a well-written character. He is written, the way in the anime at least, was written by a hand who couldn't quite pull off everything well. Also, I'm guessing, this is weird by the way, but that dude never brought up the light novel after he mentioned it.
Because he probably didn't read it.
Like, a lot of these people don't.
Yeah, like I
Not
don't.
that I will.
I don't blame them. I won't either.
I mean, I think we did skip like one of the points.
Yeah, because
Probably where you referenced it.
that was purely season 2 stuff. Why were they in the sanctuary for so long? So long being all of fucking season 2.
Oh dear God.
And like, I don't even care why. It just wasn't fun. Like that's what matters to me. If it's fucking fun, if I'm interested, but it was so slow and painful. I just couldn't be interested in anything.
Yeah. So I think that about wraps up our conclusion. This dude is a fucking idiot.
Yeah, and my family's in my house right now, so I'm gonna. Have
Yeah.
To,
Make sure you cut the. Wait, when did you cut the recording? By the way.
I did, and it's still going.
Oh.